So I guess the takeaway from this is that the Omegaverse exists and they're hiding it from kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Purgatory. And I'm not gonna lie, today's video stresses me out. I'm a wee little bit scared. Wee little? Did I just say little? Chicken little. Damn. Anyways, did I just now get this idea and think, I should get out that webcam I got for Christmas, yeah, that long ago, and film this video I've never thought about doing before, and it's probably a bad idea. Yes. Affirmative, correct, unfortunately. And I'm too stressed to even continue this intro, so let's just get straight to it. Okay. Ah! I'm stressed out. Oh my god. I'm stressed out. Oh my god. Okay. Do you know what the Omegaverse is? Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
I don't,
Would you like to?
of course.
Have you ever heard of like werewolves? Think of omegas as like women who can like give birth, stuff like that, but they go into heat like a dog.
Okay.
Do you know what a knot is?
Now teach me something.
And they go into heat. Basically, they're like, they need, you know what I mean? Do you know what the Omegaverse is? So no. He doesn't know what the Omegaverse is.
You want to see my big dick?
If I can tell
Please.
you what the Omegaverse is.
I'm a horny boy. Okay.
Okay.
Can I show you?
After I tell you what the Omegaverse is, do you know what it is? Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
Right, obvious.
Would you like to know?
It's where I fucked your mom.
What does it mean?
Do you want to know what the
I'm just
Omegaverse
saying,
is?
I'll tell you my age. If it's not fucked up, then yes.
You know werewolves.
What the fuck?
Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
What?
Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
No. Can you teach me?
Sure. You know werewolves?
Yeah.
Have you heard of, I'm sure you've heard of alphas before, but in the werewolf sense, have you heard of omegas, alphas, and betas?
No, not really.
Okay. So
Okay.
omegas, you can essentially view them as female, alphas are male. However, the difference with omegas and, you see where I'm going with this? Omegas can be anyone, male, female,
Okay.
it doesn't matter. But they act as female, such as they have reproductive organs and stuff like that. They're just normal humans. However, they have like werewolf capabilities, right? So they go into heat, and then the alphas, they have, you know, the knot on a male dog.
Yeah.
The alphas have knots. The knot is what helps the heat cycle. See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of it. What do you think about it?
I mean, that's fine. I mean, the way you say, I mean, yeah, it's okay.
It's just okay. What would
That's
you rate it
right,
out of
maybe.
10?
7,
You rate that 7
because
out of
it's
10?
true.
What do you think about the fact that any gender can get pregnant?
Mhm. That's not possible.
It's not possible.
No.
So what do you think about this world where it is possible?
It sounds good, and the way you have told it's good, but 7 out of 10, like 3, I have to cut 3 marks because, yeah, I mean, that's practically and logically not possible. By the way, do you believe in MBTIs? Maybe with the science, with the technology, maybe that's possible. But biologically, as of now, biologically and logically, as of now, we're not yet there. That doesn't mean that after 10 years or after 20 years, it's not possible. As of now, we're not there, and hence I have given you 7 out of 10, which is a very good score, by the way.
It is a
Which
really
is a
good
very
score.
good
That's
score.
very high. Where would you rank yourself in the Omegaverse? Alpha, beta, or omega?
Yeah, when you talk about alphas, the betas, and the omegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would rather rate myself in the beta version because I think they're the most powerful, they're the most intellectual ones, and that makes sense because they are the balance between the alpha and omegas.
That is a good point. I never thought about it that way.
Think yourself where you have got friends who are extremely powerful and you have got very submissive friends. It's a very tough world, you see. It's a very tough world where people chase. Some people like to chase. Some people want to chase.
Hmm.
And I'm that sort of person who, okay, you want to chase, you like to chase, meet A and B. If those things doesn't fall into places, we are in a very dicey situation. In the world of positives and negatives, that's practically not possible. It's good to come across someone who talks logically something, who talks about some content, because in Omegle you find very less people with content. Yeah, I think you will be knowing that much better than I am. Since you're a girl, I'm
Life is
sure that you'll be
strange.
knowing it that people with content are very less.
Well, it was very nice talking to you.
Yeah, man, same. Same here, same here. Cheers. Have a good day. Lovely
You
day.
too. Thank you. Man, what's going on? What is happening?
You don't have to say nothing.
You have a good voice.
Thank you. It's been about 6 years though since I've actually done something with it. So
Get cracking.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
The what?
The Omegaverse?
Omegaverse? No. What's that?
Do you like to know?
I'm curious. So yes.
Do you know werewolves?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is a fantasy supernatural kind of idea, right? I literally knew it.
Hey, what's
Hey.
up?
Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
Megaverse?
The Omegaverse?
Omegaverse? No, you tell me about it. I would like to listen about it.
Okay. Do you know werewolves?
Yeah, I know alphas, like, even in human beings, there's alphas in human beings. Like, not only wolf. When you take in particular human being groups, you will see alphas in them as well.
Have you heard of a heat cycle, like with dogs?
Yeah, of course. I know ovulation and PCSO, like, women get some symptoms when they have PCSO. When they age, they get uh, the period stop. Then also they have some sort of a symptoms. Of course, I know scientifically a little bit about it.
Do you know about a knot on a male dog?
No.
Okay, so
In human cycles, yes, of course, women ovulate and men are 24, 365 days are horny. All right. But but women doesn't happen like that way because they had to be attracted. Also, they have to you know feel it, and they need to trust that partner who they sleep with. For men, it's not like that. We don't have to trust. We don't have to have a relationship. Just go ahead and do it, and then it's over. I like to to listen to it more because you get rarely get to speak to people who will like at least give you a little bit of an education about something that they know, unless they just say something stupid on Omega and just move on.
what would you rate the Omegaverse out of 10?
Omega was, of course, I would rate 10 out of 10.
You'd rate the Omegaverse 10 out of 10?
Yeah, of course, why not?
I know, a lot of people think it's weird and they hate it.
No, it's not weird. It's a normal. No, it's a nature, and respect the fact that's a omega. So it's a omega. There's nothing, two things to say about once it's said and done, and that's how it goes.
In the Omegaverse world, what do you think you'd be born as, an alpha, beta, or omega?
Yeah, alpha.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely an alpha.
Any reason why?
Yeah, because the way I feel, the nature of me, and when I go into a group of people, all right, I see how they talk, how they behave, and what their characteristics are. Like I can sometimes when I walk into people, I can read them. I can feel the vibe, what sort of a vibe. It's a thing that betas, omegas, and alphas feel.
So they're hiding the truth from the kids, you say, right?
Yeah,
Would you say that the truth is that the Omegaverse exists?
yeah, omega and alpha, omega, beta exist. Yeah, they hide it from kids and they try to, they try to manipulate certain things and push in different agendas into kids. In the Asian region, all right, where you see not like Europe and America, it's different. The education system is different for kids. Like they push to be number one in the classroom. So it's normal for kids to behave like that. And also nowadays, there's a lot of technology and screens that we watch or we look at. We get addicted to the screen. It absorbs all our minds and thoughts into those screens, and we stop thinking about everything around us. That's good talking to you anyway. It was nice exchanging these kind of words with a person like you.
Oh, thanks. What do you mean, person like me?
Yeah, because usually people come on Omega and they appear to be really looking nice and everything, but they talk bullshit. They just want to see a cock of a guy and
So I guess the takeaway from this
like
is
a
that
hip.
the Omegaverse exists and they're hiding it from kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
Pardon? No, what is it? Yeah.
So they have a knot, like a male dog. You know what that is? Right? And then
Is this like furry?
it can connect, but they aren't the same though. So we can smell better, right? Our noses are better. So then if an omega goes into heat, then the alpha can smell the pheromones. They get a little crazy. You can imagine the complications there.
Yeah.
Consent, 0. Lack of consent goes crazy. Yeah, it's basically the Omegaverse world. What do you think about that?
Is this like something you created? I thought you were gonna say like you're creating a book or something.
I'm not that talented.
Well, why are you asking about it? Why are you asking? Are you on heat?
You say, am I in heat?
Yeah, I was like, why are you asking? Why are you asking if I know?
I'm sure there are people who think it's real.
There are, like the furry people. They're living it. They're living.
No,
in
they
that world.
don't. What would you rate the Omegaverse world out of 10?
I don't rate it. It sounds really rapey. There's no consent.
Someone with sense.
So you're saying it's pretty fucked up.
It can be. It depends on. It's an idea, right? So it depends on how you write it.
I mean, it's pretty fucked up. Like,
what do you think you'd be born as? Alpha, beta, or omega? What do
would
you
you
think
say?
you'd be born
Only
as?
spoke in the not even 5 minutes that we spoke. What would you put me in? Because you seem to know more about this Omega world than I do.
I mean, I don't know. I just met you.
Yeah, but you just put me in a category.
Beta, probably.
Fuck
So just a normal human. No, I'm just a normal human.
I'm joking. Do you know what it's like? I am so not PC though. Like,
Yeah.
totally. Like, I'm not woke at all. I don't mix well with feminists, and I'm for like equality. I'm for equality, but I'm not. I don't mix well with feminists.
Well, that's what feminists are. So.
It's not about equality anymore. It's just about man bashing.
Well, then they're not feminists.
Feminism puts up a barrier.
It doesn't.
Should be called equalisms.
Well, there's a different word for that. There's equality and there's equity. So there's equality, meaning man, woman treated entirely the same, right? I'm just using man and woman as an example. Yeah. It can be anyone. But then equity is they're treated equally based on where they are in life. Like, for instance, if you're doing equality for able-bodied people compared to disabled people. If you treat everyone equally in that sense, then there would be no, for instance, like help for handicapped people. There would be no things specifically to help handicapped people. But if it's equity, then it means they're both treated the same. However, for instance, handicapped people get the extra help that they need. They're still being treated the same, but you're being met where you're at.
Yeah, I just believe in just trying to be a good person. Like, the world that we live in is never going to be perfect in a way, and it's like some things are unfair, and like life's not fair. like I
Life-
just feel like
Life's not fair, so equality shouldn't exist. You're right.
everyone wants everything to be handed to them these days. I think that's a problem.
Says the white man.
I didn't choose to be white, and I think, yeah, I feel discriminated against being a like. I never ever felt discriminated against, but when people start like saying all this, "Oh, you're a straight white male," I feel that's just as bad as like saying, "Oh, you're black," or like just like pulling a race card on somebody. I just feel
Do
acceptable
you
to
know
bash
what the difference there is?
oppression and like yeah, we're not getting into this. We're not getting into this.
Well, you know,
You're
you said that they're the same, right?
But
Like
what I
they say
will
that
say
this is
is,
equal, right?
yeah, there's probably a lot of ignorance on my end.
Mhm.
You're a YouTuber, so is that why you're on here?
Possibly.
You're getting content.
Mhm.
Oh shit! I've just outed myself as a racist, misogynistic. Uh, what else?
Oh yeah?
You could clip this to hell, and I could just look like the worst human being on the planet.
Maybe not the worst person on the planet, but I don't think I'd have to clip it.
You think I'm a bad person?
I don't think you're a bad person. I think that you're ignorant and don't care to not be so. I don't think that you're a bad person, not at all. Not from what I've seen, at least. I don't know you. But I don't think you're a bad person. It's just, again, the ignorance is there, and I don't think you've gone out of your way to educate yourself. And if you're going to live in a world where that can affect people, maybe you should.
Well, I don't think. I don't think that's fair. It's nice to meet you, Avalon. I'm Reed.
Read?
Read the book. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Adios.
Do you know what the
What's up?
Omegaverse is?
What?
Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
No, what is it?
It's in the fantasy genre. It's not real.
Are you
Have
into
you heard
like
of-
hentai?
No. The Omegaverse. Let's talk about the Omegaverse.
Okay, what is that?
Okay.
But can you show me like your tits? Like while you teach me?
After.
Like while you explain this to me, can you like be shirtless?
No, because then I won't trust that you're listening, so I have to do it after.
I will though. I could be in my underwear.
So you don't want to hear about the Omegaverse?
Yeah, but like with you shirtless, it'd be like I'd listen way harder.
Yeah. Well, will you listen if I don't?
Yeah. But I'd like it if you did.
Okay. So the Omegaverse. Looking sick, man. Thanks. Have you heard of the Omegaverse? Have you heard of the Omegaverse? So you haven't? Would you like to? Have you heard of werewolves? This is like a supernatural, like fantasy world, right? So, have you heard of alphas, betas, and omegas in the werewolf context? Dogs, they go into heat, right? You know? Right. Have you heard of the Omegaverse?
What?
Have you heard of the Omegaverse?
You talking to me? No. What's that?
What would you rate the Omegaverse from the little bit that you know?
I like how it is. I vote to stay in the real world.
Oh, so you don't like the Omegaverse and you'd like to stay here.
Yeah. What
So
about you?
So if you had to rank yourself as an alpha, beta, or omega in this world, you'd be beta then.
Sure.
Because you're not. Because you're just like a normal person, right? You don't want to be an alpha or omega.
Yeah, just want to be me.
Nice headphones. Oh, is your hair pink too? That looks so cool. Do you know what the Omegaverse is? No? Would you like to? Right. Yeah, right. It's pretty crazy. You can imagine the problems that occur when they just go into heat randomly, and then an alpha can smell them, and the consent issues. Crazy, right? I know. It's pretty crazy. What would you think that you're a male? You think? You don't know? You don't know now? Why don't you know? If you were born into the Omegaverse world, and you can control this, right? You're just born as this, based off of the characteristics you currently have. Which do you think you'd be born as, Alpha, Beta, or Omega? You think so? You don't think powerful Omegas can exist? How do you think you would manage going to heat? It just hits you one day and you didn't even know it was going to happen, and all of a sudden you feel like if you don't get with an alpha that you're like going to die. What? Maybe if I put my mic up. Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
No.
Would you like to know what the Omegaverse is?
Yeah.
Okay. You know werewolves?
No.
You don't know what werewolves are? This is boring. One person. Give me one more person.
Oh my god, you're so pretty.
Thank you. That took me off guard. You're very pretty. Sorry.
Thank you.
There was a bit of a lag. How old are you?
12.
Why are you on here?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I just got bored one day and just decided to come on here.
Girlie, do not subject yourself to this nonsense. Get off Omegle.
Thank you, I will.
This site is nonsense. Get off of here while you can.
Okay.
Okay. Hi. Do you know what the Omegaverse is?
No. Will you educate me?
Hmm?
Will you educate me, please?
Sure. You know werewolves?
I'm really not following.
I would be surprised if you did, to be honest, because this is a lot of information to take in all at once.
It really is, and I'm just like, whoa, what am I getting myself into? But I'm really curious, honestly.
Do you have any questions? So can I help you understand?
Yeah, what are you talking about? What do you mean by the knot? Like the ball sack?
Oh. So I'm sure this is a lot to take
you,
in.
honey. I really am.
This is a lot to take in. Trust me. I understand.
I'm just an innocent bystander. Like I just
I'm so
popped up
sorry.
on here. No, it's okay. I appreciate you coming up on here and educating me.
You're so kind. You're so sweet. So imagine that in humans, lack of consent goes crazy there, right?
For real, yeah.
Right.
Oh, so the Omegaverse is really savage, it sounds like.
Kinda, yeah. It can be done really well, it can be written really well, but most people use it to just be gross.
I'm sorry.
It's completely fine.
Forgive me because for my ignorance. The Omegaverse is a place of fiction.
Yes. The Omegaverse is in fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Are you interested in it?
Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not interested.
Really?
Yeah.
If you could rate the Omegaverse 1 out of 10, what would you rate it?
What are you asking me? I don't have any information except for what you just gave me, and I'm still trying to process it.
Are you high?
I'm a little high off of like some alcohol.
So you're drunk.
You could say that.
But from what you do know, now that what I just gave you, what do you think you would be born as? Alpha, Beta, or Omega?
Nope, I cannot say. You got to give it to me again.
All of that again?
Alpha, Beta, or Omega?
Yeah.
Girl, I'm sorry. No, I cannot.
I'm trying to educate people on the Omegaverse.
Why?
It's for a video.
For what kind of video?
YouTube.
Hmm.
It took me a while to understand what the heck this thing was.
But you're really into it now.
I am interested in it. I'm not necessarily into it, but I'm interested in it.
I will say this. I am really not gonna be a very good YouTube
Good for YouTube
clip
content.
but I will say this. You're a really good YouTube host.
Oh, am I?
Yes.
How?
You have an amazing personality. You have an amazing presence about you. And whatever you're doing, and I really don't know what it is that you're doing, but whatever it is that you're doing, you are doing amazing. And I really
Thank you.
believe in you.
That is insanely sweet.
Yeah, I super fucking believe in you, and I don't even know what the fuck you talking about.
You're a ray of sunshine, dude.
So does that make me an alpha or an omega?
I don't know if that makes you any. I mean, that's just, a little personality trait. I don't know. I feel like maybe you'd be like the beta who gives all of the alphas and omegas great advice.
Okay, so now that we really getting into it, can you tell me this shit again, please?
It's really hard to condense all this information into one little thing for Omegle. Omegle.
Yes, I completely understand. But now that you're dealing with me, do it.
I can educate you, but I'm gonna have to stop filming because I've filmed too long. So would you like to help me do an outro to the video?
Sure.
Can you memorize something, or do you want to just say bye? Not to me, but to the video.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me try to memorize it.
At the very end, I have this joke of like steps to success, how to get to success, right? And the joke is that all the steps to success is to not trust any bitch. You cannot trust one, you cannot trust a half, and you cannot trust a quarter. You cannot trust any bitch.
Okay.
And then after that, I say, remember to be a good person, not a bad one, and I won't see you, but you'll see me next time, of course.
So I'm supposed to say I ain't gonna trust one. I ain't gonna trust a half. I ain't gonna trust a quarter or a fifth of a bitch.
That was great. You wanna do that again?
Oh, that's what you wanted me to do?
Sure.
I can't trust a whole or a half or a quarter or a fifth or a sixth or an eighth of a bitch. But I'm glad you're here. And we are here together, my friends. Okay.
We are. And remember, not to be a good
And
person and not a bad one. Right?
and be a good person and not a bad one.
And I won't see you, but you'll see me next time, of course.
And I won't see you, but you'll see me next time, of course.
That was great. You did fantastic.
Come on, bitch.
You did. You actually did. That made me smile a lot.
Okay, good.
You're more supportive than anyone that I know on my channel.